Hi, this is David McKittrick from Blue Marble Geographics. Today we're going to take a look at a very interesting use of the file linking tool. So my digitizer has been selected in the toolbar. As you can see, I'm simply going to select one of these points and right click and choose edit. And these are just arbitrary points. There's no attribution at all associated with these. These were just dropped on the map. What I'm going to point to specifically is the ability to add a link to that point. This link, as I said, could be any sort of external file. This is not something that necessarily needs to be compatible with Global Mapper, but if it can be opened on your computer, it can be opened using this link. It's like double clicking on a file that's on your desktop. This is the same process that will be initiated. So if you click that button, it's basically an open browse function. Go find the file that you want. In my case, what I'm going to link to is a Global Mapper workspace. Now that particular example was Site 1, so I have a site1.gmw that I had created previously. This is just a collection of layers maybe pertaining to this site. We'll select that, we'll click open, and you'll see now that what we've done is added an attribute called file link, and we have essentially defined a path. My desktop is where this file happens to be located, and that's what's been recorded. We click OK. Nothing will change visually. I can add additional attributes, by the way, if I want to find out or add attributes about this site, when it was started, how many people are working there, etc., etc. I can add all that information. But the really interesting thing now that we have embedded that workspace is that we can click on that point to load the display of that workspace. This is done with the info tool, where my cursor is located in the toolbar. If it sees the presence of a link, it will ask you if you just simply want to display the information as you would with conventional vector features, or if you want to trigger the display of the file that you've linked to. And in this case, it's a very special example because I have the option to open the file in Windows. Again, it would use the default Windows application, or open the file in Global Mapper. Most people would assume in this case I would use the option to open it in Global Mapper, but I'm not. I'm actually going to ask Windows to open that file for me, and the reason I'm going to do it this way is because we know that a GMW file, a workspace file, is specifically for Global Mapper. It would be like if I double-clicked on the workspace file on my desktop, it would automatically trigger the display of Global Mapper. The reason I don't use the third option here is simply because it will replace my existing workspace, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep this workspace open, but I want to bring up a new instance of Global Mapper with the new workspace loaded. So I'll click OK, and it'll pop up a new instance of the software, hopefully, in just a second, and it will load automatically the data that's contained within that workspace. And you can see just some point cloud data and some imagery. So this gives you a very interesting way to manage workspaces in a geographic context. If your company or organization has different job sites or different locations where you're working, just simply dropping a point on a reference map such as I have here and clicking on that will load a new instance of Global Mapper if you choose that option to load in Windows and display the relevant information for you. So it becomes like an indexing tool within Global Mapper. And this, again, it's just one example of being able to embed a hyperlink at a specific location.